to Manchester.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate you making the effort to come here, obviously.
Always.
I forgot that you're obviously based in London. I used to keep on thinking Burton-on-Trent. Like, I was just like...
It's alright, man.
Burton
I
on
want
Trent.
to rep my ends in it, so
No, like,
that's what I'm about.
thank you. So, like, for people listening that might not know who you are, what you do, just let them know.
Yeah, so I'm a hip hop artist. I don't want to be confined to just Asian. But yeah, I do hip hop artists. I like to say artist as well because I like to dabble in different bits of it. I'm not just a rapper. I'm based in London, but I rep from my hometown, which is Burton-on-Trent.
You sure about that?
I'm very sure about it.
You just told me in the break that you left as soon as you got the chance. Are you sure
I'm still
about
repping
that?
for it. I'm still repping for it.
Okay.
It's my hometown.
Okay.
No, it's like, I'll still, like, rep Warrington. even
Oh,
though I'm-
not Warrington.
Yeah. Like, no, maybe I won't go around professing it, but at the same time, if anyone asks me, I'm like, yeah, I'm from Warrington.
Oh, God.
See?
Special.
Okay, to be fair, I do rep Longsight, but I don't feel like it's as embarrassing as those other places, so...
It's alright. Just come to Burton. I'll show you what we've got to offer.
Yeah, so what do
nothing.
you have
Nothing,
to
it'll be
offer?
a very short
You know what?
trip.
It's world famous for brewing beer.
I don't drink.
Oh well. I mean, you can see how it's made, innit?
Okay, sure. We've got a Heineken factory round the corner, but yeah, sure.
Oh, it smells so bad around there.
Oh, we've got a Marmite factory. Do you
You're
like
not selling
Marmite?
it.
Yeah,
You're not selling it.
He's got Marmite and beer brewing. No,
That's about it.
I'm alright, thanks.
Very interesting.
But obviously, music is your main passion, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And you've got this Black Sun EP, which has followed the same sort of path which you did for the last EP, which, forgive me, I've forgotten the
Consistency.
name. Consistency.
Yeah, congrats, by the way.
Yeah, so like, and I remember you discussing it with you, and you were saying about how it's this, basically, it's the best way to do it in this day and age in terms of streaming and that, where you're releasing one track at a time,
Yeah.
and then once the final track's released, that's it. The EP is in its
Yeah,
own
entirety,
sort of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, so how have you found doing that, obviously, the second time with the Black Sun?
I mean, it's getting better. The thing for me is it's like, because I've not got a following or anything, so if I had a massive following or something, I would just package it as an EP and drop it all at once. But in order to, these algorithms and all this stuff and whatever, so I thought, all right, if I drop one every like 3 weeks, then hopefully it'll start to come into the algorithm better and sort of do better like that.
We had this conversation. I think, by the way, I don't know if my mic is on. Is it on?
I can hear you.
It's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this conversation with Rebellious when he came in, and we spoke about music, like how streaming algorithms affect the way that music is brought out now, and hyper consumption of music, and the fact that you just got to be really, really quick. You got to keep dropping in order to stay relevant because it moves so fast now, and it kind of takes away from the art of dropping an entire body of work, that is kind of holistic and thematic in itself.
I've already planned weirdly. I've already planned when I do get big enough to drop an album and stuff. I planned my first 2 albums, what I want to do, the concept of it and things like that. So yeah.
So I was gonna say, do you feel like streaming algorithms and the hyper consumption of music has compromised or jeopardized artistry in terms of bodies of work rather than just putting out standalone
yeah
singles?
Things especially TikTok and stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's certain songs that I'll bang on TikTok, but if you actually, it's right, I know I don't want to discredit them, but Russ Millions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Obviously,
spoke about this.
he's come out with bangers, isn't it? He has come out with bangers, but personally I don't think he's a really great artist, but he knows how to create a moment, and that's what he's done, and they become very good on TikTok and stuff, and that's why it's done so well.
As I say, I agree, because if a song slaps on TikTok, that's your marketing for the song done. And you can get millions of hits, millions of views, millions of listens to your song just because it slapped on TikTok and it's become a trend. That's how Russ has gained such a big following now since the Body and the Body remix has come out, because he just got lucky in a sense, and the TikTok algorithm favored it to the point where massive TikTok creators made it a trend. Hence, everyone made TikToks to the Body song, and then people would obviously go and listen to Body in their own time. And we said that TikTok is a make or break for a song, or even an artist in some cases. When you're making TikTok friendly songs, it's literally a formula to it at this point.
Yeah, even big artists are doing it now. 2C Slide that came out last year. That was definitely a TikTok song. I don't care what anyone says. The way that he planned, it was basically just a dance, and I was like, made for TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but
why
Yeah.
would you release that otherwise?
Yeah, but
You
I
know
think
what mean?
it's a really interesting comment though on like the commercial viability of artists and the fact that like, do you genuinely have to be a good artist and genuinely have crafted your art, or do you just need commercial viability in the sense that
It's nothing.
you need to be like gimmicky? Do you know what I mean? Like
It's
you need
either
to be able
that,
to,
or you need to just be in the right place, right time,
yeah,
or you need to
I
have a
agree.
personality.
yeah,
A lot of people, a lot of artists now, just don't have personality.
yeah,
Like I've come across so many in my studio. I'm just like,
You're so
yeah,
lovely.
you can hear it in the songs as well.
Mm.
But they'll do well because they're in like an area where people play their kind of songs and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
Where do you see yourself fitting into that then? In an industry that is like very saturated and where you need to be almost like gimmicky or create like a one-off moment in order to get your shine. How do you cope and like carve out your own space like as an artist with credibility?
so for me, like I always say to people, as an artist, I'm not the best rapper. I can't sing for crap, but I honestly believe my songwriting, I can go against anyone, like genuinely anyone.
Okay.
So like I'm a songwriter. Like I work with R&B artists as well,
Right.
and I've written songs for them. So that's what I can bring to
Like
the
your
table.
USP.
Yeah, I can bring that to the table. Like I can write a strong hook. I can write like melodies and stuff. Even though I can't perform them myself, I can get other people to do it. So.
Listen, if you're looking for oh, he doesn't get the running joke. Basically, the running joke is that I'm like a notoriously bad singer. So.
I've heard you're sick. That's what I heard. That's what you were telling me before.
You've heard my singing?
Nah, you told me you were sick.
No, I mean, yeah, I think so, but everyone else doesn't. As in, like, I get slapped round the head when I start singing, and I'm like, why?
No comment.
All right, Carlos, hater.
But besides music as well, obviously you've got your podcast which you're
Yeah.
planning on expanding. So why don't you tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
so I started this podcast basically just jumping on the bandwagon, man. Like I've always had this thing where the reason why I want to actually get big and famous, and I always say I want to get famous. I'm not gonna like shirk away from that. It's because I like helping people and giving people advice. Like I feel like I can give really good objective advice a lot of the time. So I was,
We might have a chat after the show then.
that's calm. That's calm. Honestly, and then I was like, you know what? I saw all these people doing podcasts, and one of my friends did one. She did a really good one, and I was like, you know what? I've already got a mic and stuff. I might as well just start one up, sort of putting my thoughts out. And yeah, I just started chatting some crap on the mic about some topics that are going on at the minute. But yeah, the bigger project, like you mentioned, Carlos, was I've got together with a few of my friends. We want to make it a lot more music focused. We're going to film it or get it properly edited and stuff. And it's basically just on my balcony. We thought it'd be a bit different, you know, not just like in a room or something. So have a nice view. And yeah, we're basically recording the first ones this week. Hopefully out at the end of this month. So yeah.
And like, what type of stuff is it gonna cover?
Basically just music,
What
predominantly
music topics are you like particularly passionate about?
I just love discussing artists, songs. So it's going to be a lot of like ranking things, like maybe like.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simran is.
Yeah, so
That's my bag.
the thing is that we all love hip hop and R&B, but we all like it in different genres of it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay, cool,
subgenres.
cool.
So I think that's why it'll be good because we're not always going to be agreeing with like all of our points. So yeah, that's what and it'll just be good. I think there's four of us. We're all mates. We
Yeah.
get on. There's always a laugh. So
Yeah.
it's a good dynamic. You know what I mean?
Love to see
Yeah.
it, man.
I do like as well what you're saying about like doing it with a view, because I think that is the way so many podcasts are, is because realistically the quality of it isn't what you're talking about at the end of the day, because that's to be an interesting topic. But then because of that, the visuals for a lot of them, that maybe less effort goes into, because it is just ultimately people sitting in front of a mic. So this idea of being balcony, I think that will add like an extra element, which would be
Yeah,
like nice to actually
exactly.
watch it rather than
That's what
just
we're going
listen.
for. I always like to do things a bit different. That's literally what I do. Like even with my music, I won't try and copy someone. I'll always try something different. If it bangs or it doesn't.
Speaking of which, who are your music inspirations?
And you know what? I take inspiration from everyone. Like genuinely, either bad or good. Because from the people that I don't really like, I'll be like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. So like, I always do that. But I always say I don't really have role models. But if there's one person who I could like work with or just like have dinner with, dead or alive, it'd be Kanye West.
Swear down, talk us through.
Ooh.
I mean, I was gonna do it after the music, but let's get into it right now. Like, okay, so I know obviously before we brought HB on, I asked him like, oh, what do you really want to talk about? And I didn't plan for it to be the same week that basically Kanye and Drake have
Both
dropped.
have dropped,
Yeah.
So, and obviously, I imagine both of them are probably quite big influences for you. Obviously, you just confirmed Kanye is. So, talk us through that. Give us the taste of this podcast then, like Kanye vs Drake.
If it's Kanye versus Drake, then I mean they're my two, literally
Your
dead or
goats.
alive. They're my two favorite artists of all time.
Okay. It's
and-
respect. I respect it.
Like
I respect
Kanye is
it.
one. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie to you, but
Okay.
but
Top 2 when you're 18.
I'll be honest, right? You know, like all this Donda stuff, like this, the parties and stuff he had. I thought it was sick. It was annoying, obviously, when he didn't drop, but it was sick. When I first heard Donda, there were a few songs that I was like gassed for, and that's what I want. I want that feeling. The cons to it, it was too long, and it didn't sound like it'd been like perfectly mastered, which is fine. I think you might have gone for that Yeezus kind of approach, where it's like, do you know what I mean? Like it's more
Bit
about the
rugged,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there were like pretty decent songs. I'd say it's the best thing I've heard from him since Yeezus, because I don't really like Pablo. But yeah, and then the Drake one, oh my god, I think it's awful.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that really interesting because the way that I've heard it, a lot of people are the other way around. I think a lot of like personally, I'm really interested listening to this because I haven't had the time to listen to either, like in depth at least. But the way that I've heard it, the majority of people I've heard have been saying like, oh yeah, Drake has completely outshone Kanye with this new Certified Lover Boy. Like,
Nah, see, I haven't listened to Donda because you see them times when people cancel Kanye, yeah, I never really uncancelled him, I can't lie. So I just kind of was like, like two of my friends, they have like a music podcast, right? And we went on and we spoke about Kanye, and I said I just refrained from commenting on that man because he's obviously going through some ish, and it's just I'm not. There's just a lot more that we don't see and understand, so I'm just not whatever. So I actually and then he came out with like Marilyn Manson, and there's a whole thing about that. I'm sorry to get politically correct, but that is my portion. So I was just a bit like, I'm not really gonna touch that. But then CLB, I thought I wouldn't say it was absolutely awful. Like there are some enjoyable tracks on it, but I didn't think it was like really good. The way people are gassing it, I think it's been overhyped. Like a lot of the songs sound very samey.
Yeah.
A lot of them sound like very soulless. A lot of them like see my favorite Drake is rapper Drake. Like that's my favorite Drake. You know, so Drake is very, very versatile. Like Drake is irrefutable, he's undeniable, you can't deny Drake, right? And he's in like multiple bags, like he's got his fingers in multiple pies, and I think that's one of the great, like what makes him such a great artist. But my favorite personal Drake is like rapper Drake, and he doesn't do much like rapping. He does a lot of song rapping. Like
I just find it lazy, man. Like that's why I like the Kanye one, because you could hear him pushing boundaries. Even when the way he was rapping, I was like, I've not heard him rap like this. Whereas with Drake, I was like, I've heard this before.
Very samey. That's it. And even track by track, like I was feeling as though like there's not much to discern between like the different tracks on the album.
And I genuinely love Drake like a lot. I've started hating him a little, not hating him, but like
criticize him a little bit more.
No, like I didn't like Scorpion, and I think this is worse than Scorpion.
No, I mean, I like Scorpion. I'm not gonna lie.
No, for me, this is worse than
But
Scorpion.
guys, can we talk about this morning? I was in the car with my little sister, my 12-year-old sister. I was driving her somewhere, and Girls Like Girls came on. Can we talk about that lesbian bar? My sister turned to me, my 12-year-old. So there's a bar, and he goes like, "What's the bar?" Like,
you're a lesbian. Oh, me too.
Oh, me too. And my little sister, my 12-year-old sister, who's like half the time, you know, she's in that age, she's not even in the world half the time, and she turns to me, she's like, how does that make any sense? Like, what is he talking about? And I was like, it's just Drake, sis.
Yeah, it annoyed me.
Why did it annoy you? I thought it was funny, man.
I was like, why is he saying that? Like,
It don't make no
so
sense.
dumb. Yeah.
Do you have any strong opinions on either Kanye or Drake's recent drops, Simran?
I'm glad you asked.
Here we go.
So, I, like Halima, I stay out of Kanye's way. Like, I don't really engage that much. Like, I see the headlines and I don't read about it. I just see what's going on. So I know like the broad sense of what he gets up to. So I kind of followed pre-Donda everything he was doing roughly. He created a lot of hype for this album that obviously dropped, and For me, it wasn't that impressive. I liked it more than Pablo. I didn't like it more than Yeezus because I think Yeezus was groundbreaking. But this album, like, I can list you off a couple songs that I love. The features are really, really, really good, but it didn't like wow me. I don't know. I think for me it ties a lot into him as a person, and it's something that I can't vibe with fully. And my heart always vibes with Drake. Saying that, CLB was mid.
Yeah,
Mid.
no, I totally agree with everything you said there.
Yeah, CLB, like, the features were flat, considering the big names he had on CLB, the features were flat. It was very produced, like, it was a very record
soulless, isn't it? That's what I mean by soulless.
album.
Yeah.
It was very like he followed a template with every song. It was predictable. The Travis Scott feature was predictable. The Future song, Way Too Sexy, it is such a banger, but it is so dry. Like, it does nothing.
Really? I think
I saw the video.
I love it.
I thought that's why I think it's
funny.
fun. Yeah, it's fun, but it's not like
it's a fun song because it's a Future song. Like, you know what? Like, the 21 Savage feature was amazing, but the Young Thug feature was unnecessary. There's a song called In Too Deep. I have never been edged so much by a song. I literally ruined my day listening to it. I got so angry that the beat didn't drop in the first 40 seconds, let alone the first 2.5 minutes of it. I was listening to it in the car and I was like, this song is literally just like, it's sucking the life out of me. It had so much potential and it went nowhere. Anyway.
Interesting. I think both of these albums, like, do you know what it is? It's like when there's such a hype, like when there's such a great rollout of the album, right? I mean, with DONDA, we've been waiting. And then with the Drake, especially with the, you know, when he was doing all them billboards, like, hey, so
yeah, yes,
I like that.
That's sick.
I like that because it gets you
CLB marketing. CLB marketing was 10 out of 10. DONDA marketing was okay. It was like accidental marketing. Like, he created hype because of people were just interested at that point. People were almost a bit worried about him. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium stuff, like, it was a lot. CLB marketing was on point for that album to not hit the mark.
That's what it is. I feel like it feels even worse when you expect greatness.
It was way too much hype.
They planned it between dropping as well. There's no way there was no plan between.
Either that, or Drake knew Kanye was dropping and decided to drop the same week because of all the stuff that's been going on between them.
There was some sort of there's got to be some sort of like thing going on there.
Yeah, probably. You know what they say? No publicity is bad publicity.
It's true.
You know what's sad though is the artwork. For both.
Oh, come on. Donda didn't surprise me. Like, did not surprise me. Black screen, alright. CLB is literally pathetic.
I think it's jokes though, because you
know
know what?
Do you know who
like,
designed it?
Who?
You know Damien
Oh,
Hirst?
yeah.
Damien Hirst, like the massive artist, like global icon artist. He designed the CLB cover.
But listen, do you know how? This is why I say Drake is a superstar, because he dropped that year, and then bare brands like Pepsi and KFC and all of these, they started then doing like remaking it. Do you know what I mean? Like remaking it, and it's like this guy, like when I say he's like superstar level, like he's genuinely superstar level.
If there's one thing Drake can do, it's marketing and branding.
Yeah, trust.
If there's one thing he's always gonna nail, is his name.
Trust. And you know what? To various audiences as well, not just one fan base. Like this man, his fingers are in every pie that they could possibly.
He's calculated.
Do you know what I mean? He's very clever. His marketing team, like 10.
His PR is on 10, whereas Kanye's is not.
But Kanye carries himself. Like his legacy and his reputation carries himself. To be honest with you, like.
But he needs to do more to uphold it now because he's lost that.
As well. Like Kanye was not from that. He's not from that generation that Drake was, where you come up on social media. You know, so like you can tell in the way that they market themselves. I mean, they're both undeniable.
I think they're both, like, realistically, they could both just continue to release music that wasn't that great, even if it wasn't that great, and like people would still continue to listen to it. It would still be hyped up. Like they have reached that level where they can pretty much do whatever now. Like all they can do is get better, basically. Like even if they release a bad album, it's never gonna like take them off the map.
But that's the difference between them two, I think. Like, I think Kanye is a genius because he keeps trying to push himself. Whereas I think this album did from Drake showed that he's reached that level, like you mentioned.
He rested on his laurels.
Yeah, it's for me it was the only song I liked was the Travis Scott one because I'd heard the snippet of Drake do that on his Insta a couple of months ago, and I was like, this song sounds like a banger. Yeah. And when I heard it, I was like, that was the only song on the whole album. I was like, oh,
I'm
this
happy.
is sick.
Yeah.
That was
Damn, really?
yeah. The other songs.
I think he just found his groove in it, and it was just very formulated.
Drake's comfortable now.
That's it.
He pushed the boat out a little bit with views. He pushed it out with more life quite a bit, like as far as his scope goes. But he has a lot more potential to explore. I don't know if it's like, you know, when he starts doing like Afro beats, or he starts going yardie, people like start getting onto him for that, or he starts like trying to get a UK passport, people get onto him for that. Like maybe he's seen that and he's like, no, I want to go a little bit more homegrown now, which is obviously, I think, reduced the album to something quite simple.
Yeah, but that's what I liked about Drake before, though, the fact that he was so
Same.
versatile. Like, he was doing up genres like just like easy. Do you know what I mean? Easy. But like,
This
one
is his, in my eyes,
bare
this is his
samey.
worst project.
I might be inclined to agree.
I might be. I think I need to listen to it like 2 more times, then I
listened
can
to
form an
it
opinion. But I do think so.
Twice, like back to front, and I was like, no, this is it. This is the worst one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we have another project which we're gonna give a play now. HB's Black Sun EP. So we're gonna play Cater to Me, then Bro Code, then Intentions. So these are the latter 3 tracks of the EP. So are they meant to take you on any kind of like journey, or is it like?
No, to be honest, this was to do with it was just that Cater to Me was just, I said to Valley, I was like, yo, let's do something drilly, but it was a bit more R&B. It turned out we were like trying to do something hard with it, but that's what it turned into. Bro Code, I said, bro, to my boy Odyssey, who made the beat. I said, bro, let's do something together. So he made the beat from scratch, and he did the chorus as well. And then the last one, I've had that song for ages, man. And I was like, you know what? I just like the beat, so I just did it.